Coach pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up! Damn it, Bart.
And it has gone all over the place. It has gone viral. That is the audio that we're talking about. That Bart, who was seen by people on both sides, says no conversation like that took place. Nolan Wells was not on that boat. And he had nothing to do with
anything. A man's voice comes through a phone line, steady and composed. Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. No panic, no screaming, just a routine request for mechanical help. Within weeks, that call would circulate across social media in a radically different form, embedded within a heavily edited audio track, accompanied by a transcript alleging background voices discussing a death. The narrative spread across platforms with the viral momentum of catastrophe. 60,000 people received it. News outlets amplified it. One name became synonymous with the story: Nolan Wells. The question that drove the investigation forward was immediate and disorienting. If the audio evidence suggested something catastrophic had occurred on that boat, why did the actual video footage tell an entirely different story? On the day in question, a group of young adults had chartered a boat outing at Horn Island, located off the Mississippi coast. Among them were Warren and his friends, including Nolan Wells. A second vessel was present as well, operated by a man named Bart, who was known to the group and had come to provide mechanical assistance.
And liked him.
Yeah, and Chris, I can add more. I saw the video of them on the boat during the phone call.
Was Nolan Wells on the boat?
No, he's not on the boat.
The outing was social in nature, characterized by what witnesses would later describe as typical recreational behavior: swimming, boating, casual socializing. At some point during the afternoon, Warren's boat began taking on water. This is not uncommon with recreational vessels. A bilge problem, a drainage malfunction, or exposure to conditions that exceed the craft's capacity.
So one of the kids, I think it was Warren, right, makes a phone call to Cito, says, my boat's taking on water. Wyatt, sorry. Wyatt makes the phone call. He sounds calm. Well, if his boat was sinking, why was he calm? As a boater, okay, there's taken on water.
Warren contacted Cito, a marine service company, and placed a call requesting assistance. During that call, he remained audibly calm, explaining the situation matter-of-factly.
He is calm because he was calm, and it becomes very relevant in one moment. And he's talking to Cito. He says, I have an account. Why? Because Cito's going to charge you different. And they're going to come at a different rate based on whether or not you have an account and what level the account is.
The caller even referenced his membership status with the service, a procedural detail that would have influenced pricing and response time. Bart, meanwhile, had already begun helping, working to address the mechanical issue and assisting with water removal from the vessel. Before long, the crisis resolved itself. The call to Cito was canceled. The boats regrouped. The group continued the outing. What happened next revealed how forensic audio, when uncoupled from visual evidence and procedural rigor, can construct an entirely false narrative.
Now comes this sweetened version of the audio, and a woman makes the case, and she sounds very well versed in audio editing. She did this, she did that, she did this, she did that. And then, with an adjoining transcript, there seems to be a background conversation that is of a completely different tone and tenor than the phone call from Wyatt. Wyatt, as I said, that's how he is. In the background, there seems to be a conversation, according to the transcript, yelling at this guy, Bart, and what happened to Nolan and what's going on. Nolan, wake up, and this and that. It sounds like someone's dead or dying on the boat with them. And it has gone all over the
Overlaid with the original recording was a secondary audio track, supposedly capturing background conversation occurring simultaneously on the boat. According to her accompanying transcript, voices in this background could be heard discussing Nolan Wells directly, with phrases suggesting panic, distress, and the possibility that Wells had experienced a medical emergency or worse.
Canceled the Cito call. That Bart, who was seen by people on both sides, says no conversation like that took place. Nolan Wells was not on that boat. And he had nothing to do with anything that happened to Nolan Wells, though he knew him and liked him.
Yeah, and Chris, I can add more. I saw the video of them on the boat during the phone call. Now, I can't.
This edited version, paired with the transcript, began circulating. The transcript itself became a tool of suggestion. When written words accompany ambiguous audio, listeners unconsciously align their perception of sound with the text they see. This phenomenon, documented in cognitive research, is called confirmation bias.
Was Nolan Wells on the boat?
No, he's not on the boat. And the pan, let me tell you, it's interesting, right? These kids, this is my perception for what I see on the boat. They're having a good time. I would argue that some of them are having such a good time that half of the people are concerned and half of the people don't know what's going on. There's two boats. There's the boat that Bart is running to tow, and there's the boat that Warren and them are on. And some people are having such a good time that they're like joking about it. They're not even thinking it is happening. And then you have, Warren's side or Wyatt's side where I can see Wyatt on the phone talking to Cito.
A viewer reading the words, Nolan is dying. While listening to distant, unclear background noise will hear what the text primes them to hear, not necessarily what is actually said or even present in the audio. Benjamin Crump, the attorney representing the Wells family, notably declined to endorse the edited audio as evidence. This decision was significant. Crump made clear that the family would retain independent experts to conduct their own analysis of the recording, but the altered version circulating publicly was not accepted by them as reliable or representative.
So you don't see any corresponding activity that would suggest the urgency and the dialogue that is in the transcript of the sweetened audio?
No, there's a girl on that boat that's yelling because she's having a good time and she's screaming and she's talking loud and whatever. And I don't know if that translated to the phone call because she's on the opposite boat. And at one point in the video, the boats are together like this. Because people are trying to get on this boat to the other boat and do all that. And they're all having a good time, if you know what I'm saying. They had a good time out there. So
there is no sign of distress?
No.
There is no kind of frantic or yelling or controversy?
No.
Yet despite this non-endorsement from the family's own counsel, the edited audio continued to spread, driving public perception and media coverage. An investigator with forensic background examined the original unedited call recording. Without the priming effect of a transcript, and listening for what was actually present in the audio itself, rather than what a text suggested should be there, the investigator did not identify any background conversation consistent with the narrative the edited version implied. The calm tone of the original caller, the straightforward nature of the assistant's request, and the absence of audible emergency markers, all aligned with a routine boat malfunction, not a crisis involving a person in distress.
It has to be some portion of it. The video that I saw was, I think it was a Snapchat that somebody had taken, or they recorded somebody's Snapchat or something like that, and it's only like 36 seconds. But in this entire video, it pans from Bart's boat. It pans around, and there's some people faces in there that are not involved at all. And so that's kind of why we didn't put it out without their permission. And then it pans over to Wyatt's boat, which is what I released, like a 3-second thing. It pans over to Wyatt's boat, and it comes back over to Bart's boat. So you can see 99%. You can see everybody that's on Wyatt's boat.
The 36-second clip panned across both boats, showing the individuals present and their conduct. Nolan Wells did not appear in this footage.
They're like, what's going on? And so it's not even the pandemonium that people think it is. It's literally Wyatt is driving the thing on the phone like this. some people are working on the boat like this, and then on Bart's boat, people are laughing and joking and saying, I don't know, are they sinking? Are they sinking? This is crazy. I think they're sinking. You know, like, that's the kind of environment. So it's not even a panic. And here's the thing.
More significantly, the people visible throughout the recording, whether on Warren's boat or on Bart's assistant's vessel, exhibited no signs of panic, emergency response, or distress. Some individuals were joking. Others appeared to be working on the mechanical issue or simply observing. The atmosphere captured on video was consistent with friends managing a boat problem, not with a medical emergency or worse. 2 witnesses independently reported to law enforcement that they had observed Nolan Wells on the island itself after the boat incident had already concluded.
The thing is that this is consistent with an account of 2 witnesses who spoke to police that said they saw Nolan on the island after this had already happened. So that confirms that
this testimony aligned with what the video showed. Wells was not present on the vessel when the emergency call was placed. When investigators interviewed witnesses, the scale of documentation became apparent.
Lady, and I don't think she's professional at all in actually translating or doing whatever she claims she did with the audio. Any audio technician that wants to give a fair forensic explanation of what's really on the audio will never put a transcript on the audio. That leads to confirmation bias. If I promise you right now, Chris, if I did it, I almost had my team do it. Change out the words, put it out to the public, and when people see the words, they're going to hear what they want to, what they think they saw.
There is a power of suggestion that goes to that, and that's why they have the sweetening experts, and then they have the dialogue experts.
Yeah, you can't.
Police
it is
had
interesting.
spoken to 60 people who had direct knowledge of events that day or relevant circumstances surrounding the case. This was not a situation in which key witnesses had remained silent or inaccessible. The investigative groundwork had been completed early and comprehensively. The witnesses corroborated a consistent account. The boat malfunction was genuine. The emergency response was routine. Nolan Wells was not aboard when the incident occurred, and the edited audio did not represent what had actually happened on the water.
And let me tell you this, they not only didn't put it out as proof, Benjamin Crump on an interview, I forget the Black Vlog interview he just did recently, I think his most recent interview, he said, we're going to get our own experts to do this, which means that he did not validate or he did not...
The edited audio persisted in circulation despite these contradictions. Content creators, media figures, and individuals without forensic training shared it widely, often explicitly stating that the audio proved something catastrophic had occurred. Some did so with genuine belief, lacking the investigative training to recognize how edited media or confirmation bias could distort perception.
Some people did it because they actually believed it, because they have no experience in investigations. They don't critically think about these things because they're not seeing that people can manipulate on such a scale. There are others that have ran with it because it's lucrative. If I go and put out Toe shows everything, Nolan Wells was dead on a boat, and I pushing it, I'm gonna get millions of views. And some people are like, I'd rather get the views knowing that I'm absolved of any responsibility because it's not my video. So I'm gonna push it until I can get enough of it, and then I'm gonna move on to something else and go, wow, we were lied to. That's crazy. It's like, no, a responsible investigator or a person that's doing due diligence will say, let me make sure that's what that says before I am caught pushing a audio that's saying that no.
Others appeared motivated by engagement metrics, recognizing that sensational claims drove viewership and shares. The incentive structure of digital media, where dramatic false narratives generate more clicks than careful, evidence-based debunking, created a powerful gravity while pulling the false narrative further into public consciousness. An investigator with years of experience in case work took a different approach. Rather than accepting the edited version, he asked a single question: what is actually verifiable here?
I don't have a dog in the fight, man. I mean, I'm spending all of my own money to do all of this stuff. I'm sitting here saying, I'm not going to look like a fool. I spent years building my platform. I'm not finna put fake stuff on my stuff I'm not gonna put these boys on an interview and let them lie on my platform and then come to that they killed them. My family gotta eat at the end of the day. I'm not finna let them ruin my platform. So, but with all that being said, you know, I look at it and I listen to it and I said, listen, Brandon, see if you hear any of that, because this could be a lead. I don't hear that. Unless I'm reading a transcript, I don't hear that whatsoever. So at my investigatory...
He listened to the original call without a transcript present. He examined the video footage. He reviewed the statements of 60 witnesses. He consulted available forensic documentation. Having done this foundational work, his conclusion was unambiguous. The edited audio did not represent reliable evidence of what occurred. The video evidence affirmatively contradicted the narrative the edited audio suggested. The witness accounts, collectively, established a different sequence of events entirely.
Oh,
No
100%.
way.
Here's the thing that I think that Nolan's parents and Benjamin Crump pushed in the beginning, which I think caused all this. Why wouldn't they just be honest and tell that law enforcement had spoke to 60 witnesses right when Nolan had died? 3 weeks before this. They acted as if the boys weren't cooperating. She said they pushed it out there that they lawyered up immediately. No, Warren is the only one that got a lawyer because his stepmom was a judge, and she's representation.
And I don't know if I said this to you last time. I definitely said it about your interview. I don't know if I said it to you, but no chance my son or daughter goes to the police alone to talk to them. I don't know if we discussed this. And I'm not saying, look, I'm not anti-cop. I work with first responders all the time. They get my respect, okay? But no way. No way. When you're looking to make a case, people have to be represented if they're going to talk to you. And I don't care if he did nothing wrong.
And you have not made it clear. You have not read the Miranda rights. Then you don't have a right to talk to them whatsoever.
That's
so
right.
when we bring a person in because we have an investigatory reason to talk to them, meaning that, like if you listen to it, well, your statements can be used against you in the court of law. So voluntarily coming into the police station is not automatic that it's all very clear that you can leave.
Right.
Once we get you in the interrogation room, are you under the impression that you can just walk out of this at any time? And are you aware that whatever statements that you give to me can be used against you in the court of law? This is not off the record. So
having a lawyer is not necessarily
everybody
reason for suspicion.
I'm a police.
The case now sits in a state of documented contradiction. One narrative, the edited audio with its accompanying transcript, circulates widely online, retained by individuals who encountered it before factual analysis caught up. Another narrative, grounded in forensic examination of the original recording, physical video evidence, and 60 witness accounts, remains established in investigative records, but has not achieved the same viral reach.
Because mama is contending with her son's reputation too. Now, anybody with
which is stellar, by the way. I haven't heard a bad word about the kid.
The kid was I don't want to say a god, but he was a mini god. Like nobody has anything bad to say. No one. Matter of fact, his parents, I floated an idea when I was talking to them, like, could it be possible that he was doing something like this and it was something potentially criminal? One of the parents almost screamed at me at the idea of never would Nolan do anything like that. Nolan was a perfect kid. I mean, I'm telling you, even the other parents are defending Nolan. But anyway, the whole thing about drinking, Chris, come on, man. We know you're not going to Horn Island at 18, 19, 20, and you're not having a good time. There's a video out right now. We posted it. It's all over the internet. They pan the thing. You see Nolan in the water. You see everybody with drinks in their hand. You see another kid passing out drinks.
Well, I agree with that. We don't have any reason to believe right now in what's going on with Nolan Wells. We have no reason to believe.
But Chris, why do they bring it up? Why would they bring it up?
I mean, we both know why they bring it up, because it was that initial picture is one black guy and a bunch of white guys, and it's seen like 5 guys went out, 4 guys came back, and it's the black guy.
But
That's
but that's
the
not
initial image.
right.
I know
but
it's not
people-
accurate, but that was the image.
right, and that image in some people's minds who are
And it's Mississippi.
right. But
you know.
see, but it's they have a race. They live life through a racist lens. I see a picture saying these boys went out. One boy did not come back. These boys may have done something they shouldn't have done. They made a mistake, and they're wrong. They should go to prison if they have done something to this boy. I don't think. Oh, it must be something because it's white boys and a black guy. We're past that here. If you're intelligent enough, you should be past that. In Mississippi, I'm telling you right now, Chris, they can't name another comparable case that they say a black person was done wrong in the last 10, 15 years. A comparable case. Where do they have a?
The question of how false information, once embedded in public consciousness through the mechanisms of social media, can be dislodged or corrected remains largely unresolved. How many similar cases exist in which edited media, confirmation bias, and the algorithmic incentives of digital platforms have constructed a false public understanding of events?